Hey, this video is made strictly for my coworkers. I wanted to make this video for a couple of reasons. One, personally, just want to touch base with all of you concerning just kind of where we're at, and I just wanted to share some positive things. And then at the same time, a dream of mine has always been, at least for the last year and a half, I've always wanted to connect with everybody and to share some ideas and thoughts that I've had. And that being said, I always, was waiting for an opportunity at work, and it hit me today that I could connect with all of you. Now, obviously, you have to be careful about what you say and what you bring up on social media, especially concerning, particular places of work. So, I'm going to try my best not to, talk about specific things at work. And just keep it general, because the principles I'm going to talk about are success principles. Okay, and the things I wanted to share with you is probably going to be about a 10-15 minute long video. I ask, just out of respect, that you watch the whole thing. And not out of respect for me, but out of respect for yourselves, because I believe it has a positive message that we can all learn from. And I know we're going to have a lot of time, especially if you're going to watch, a couple hours of Netflix. Like right now, I put on Frozen 2, and I'm sleeping with this one. That you can spend 15 minutes listening to this. I have some notes on my computer. But first and foremost, I wanted to say that I hope everyone's feeling calm. And I hope everyone can maybe take a step back from maybe the anxiety they feel. I know that we're a household with two incomes, a mother and father with two kids. And some of you may not be in that situation. Some of you may have one income in your household. You may be a single parent raising multiple kids. You may have special needs, children that you're looking after, whatever the case may be. We're in the same boat, although I can't fully understand what each of you is going through. Okay, but what I wanted to talk about is right now we have an opportunity to really grow together and to become better individually and collectively. And a lot of the times we allow outside circumstances to dictate how we act towards one another or how we feel. And then obviously with the aerospace industry right now and some major companies making decisions that affect us, not even just right now, but even months ago, we want to use that as an excuse for why we can't be as successful as we want to be right now. But this opportunity has allowed us to really refine our processes, become closer together, understand that we no longer have specific roles at our company, but we are part of the same company, and whatever we got to do to help our company thrive, that's what our mindset and our focus should be. So I'd highly encourage and implore each and every one of you that look beyond what you traditionally would do, or even look beyond what you're comfortable doing, and be willing to do what you know is the right thing to do to help other people. Because it's no longer about just us individually, but how do we work together to ensure that we can continue to come to work and allow the other families of people around us to survive and make it through these times economically, mentally, and physically. First thing I wanted to say after 3 minutes and 50 seconds of this video is I want to talk about planting seeds. And one of the best examples given is always a farmer planting seeds and on the land. And that the land is like the mind. And the mind or the land does not care what the farmer or ourselves plant in that field. A farmer could plant rows of corn as well as deadly nightshade. And as long as he tends to those crops and waters them and tends to the weeds, those crops will grow abundantly because the land does not care. So your mind does not care either what you are planting in it. Okay. And they talk about, wolves, you have a bad wolf and a good wolf, and which one survives is the one that you feed. So the same thing is if you plant corn or nightshade in your brains, which ones are you feeding each day? Because either way, it's going to grow in abundance. It'll grow tenfold, really, because you reap what you sow. And so you got to think, too, if you're living a particular circumstance or life right now, The seeds that you sow, if you continue to sow the same seeds, you're going to bear the same fruit. You can't, be growing apples one season and decide I want to grow oranges, but continue to plant apple seeds. Okay, so the same thing for work. If you want to experience love and compassion, you want to experience teamwork, you want to experience, maybe you're dealing with someone on your shift that you don't get along with, or you're expecting them to be angry all the time or whatnot, or you don't think they're pulling their weight. You can't keep thinking about those things, planning those ideas in your head and running them through your mind all day long and looking for evidence to support that idea and expect any change to occur. Okay, you're going to be just as miserable as them, and you might even be more miserable because they might not even be aware or even care about what you're feeling. Okay, so be mindful first and foremost what seeds you're planting before you get to work. I've said this in a different video. I would spend my time going to work arguing in my head with various people on the shift that I work because I was expecting to be in an argument with them. Not because I didn't like them, but that's just because that was a little bit of the evidence that I had before work. And once I shifted the internal conversation I had with myself and my expectation for when I would get to work, everything changed. When I walk in the door, I'll close my eyes because I always like to visualize this. But imagine how you want work to be. You know how it is when you go and you scan your badge and you walk in the door, and whatever door you enter, you know where stuff is going to be located. You know the sounds. You know the smells, all of it. So what do you want to have happen? And you got to start changing the way that you think and approach the day. You can't approach the day the same way and expect a different result. Okay. You also have to create a vision. As a company, there's a vision putting forward, and if you don't have a vision for yourself, buy into the vision that the company has. Because if everyone has a different vision for how they want to go, and we don't have any unity, we're not gonna get anywhere. Because it's like a tug of war. One person's trying to go one way, and one person's trying to go the other way. And that's a real simple concept. We work with more than two people, but we're all connected. So imagine an invisible string connecting all of us. And if each of us is pulling a different direction because we don't want to work together and cooperate, we're not going to get anywhere. Okay? So we have to start cooperating and working together. Mindset and attitude. Your mindset and your attitude, everything invented first began as a thought or an idea. Okay? Before we decided to move, like, say, the layout of our company on the actual physical floor, the production floor. You know how we've moved certain stations to here, to here, to here, to here, or wherever, and we move this to outside, and we move this around inside the shop. Before any of that happened, someone had to have an idea for it, a vision for it. They had to have a layout for it. Then you had to have people come together. We've implemented different things that we've spent money on as a company to build certain things in our production on our production floor. You had to get outside people to come together, engineers and planners and actual physical, construction workers. You had to get IT people. You had to get people working in finance all together to create what was just created. Okay, so before anything's ever created, it starts in the thought process and the idea. So if you have a crappy attitude and whatnot, when you get to work, you need to cut it out. And I'm trying to say some of the things too that, at work we have to be very politically correct, especially for the people in position of leadership roles. They have to be careful what they say because we're so sensitive to being held accountable that if everyone doesn't say the right thing at the right time in the right way in the right mannerisms, the right tone, people go to HR. And you need to cut that out. You need to hold yourself to a higher standard than what you're being held to. Okay? You need to hold yourself accountable. When you see someone doing the wrong thing, help them. Help them understand that that's the wrong way to do it. Don't wait for them to finish and then not say anything because you're hoping that they get in trouble or you're just looking out for yourself. That's selfish and it's wrong. Okay, we need to help each other. And I'm tired. I've worked on swing shift. I've worked on a day shift. I worked at a night crew. I worked on weekends, and I've gotten to know a lot of people. And the common thread between all the shifts is we all talk crap about each other, and it needs to stop. Okay, it goes back to planting seeds. You can't complain about other shifts and the way that they do things, and then oh well, we do things better, and we do things better, and we do things better, and then all the shifts, as collectively, they're all going in different directions. It doesn't work. Okay? You have to buy into a singularity vision, and you have to be willing to put your ego aside and go after just trying to make your company successful for the sake of your family and others. We depend on each other. Not one person is holding this company up. Okay? The company is held up by all of us collectively coming together and accomplishing the same goals. Uh, and so I just wanted to call to action. I want to call to action to challenge each and one of you to hold yourself to a higher standard, to let go of the crap. If you're not getting along with someone at work, let it go. There is no room for it. There's no room for it moving forward. Okay, because if we build a collective energy of positivity and love and compassion and unity and altruism, those people that are not in alignment with those things energetically, you'll weed yourselves out one way or another. And that's not anything as far as, I mean, none of these viewpoints are part of our work. They're not any viewpoints. They're my own. But that's just what I've seen always. Whenever you have a collective energy, people whose energy is not conducive, they weed themselves out. They find different jobs. They do something that gets them fired. Whatever it may be, they just move along. Okay? And so I enjoy working with each and every one of you. And I'm sorry for those of you that I don't really know. One of my passions is just getting to know people. And, I like to make more videos that are more in depth. I know we're at 11 minutes and 40 seconds now. But I really strongly urge you to cut the crap, because this is serious. Okay, the stuff that we face at work, for our goals that we set, not even just for monetary goals, but being on time for our customers, and getting their products to them, making sure our accuracy is good, as far as making sure our products that we're producing don't have any defects in them. That stuff is real. Okay, there's only so many times that you can be told, growing up and whatnot, that you need to fix something before you get cut from the team, so to speak. And so we owe it to ourselves to just hold each other to a higher standard. We don't hold ourselves to a high enough standard. And we need to be able to call each other on it without getting so frazzled by it that we have to run to HR. I'm not saying that any of you do that, but I'm just saying, if someone at work has your better interest in mind and saying, hey man, you need to show up on time. We depend on you. Instead of taking that personally and like being attacked, say, yeah, you know what? I need to hold myself. I need to get to work on time. I need to be positive. I need to promote positivity. I need to work hard. I need to be willing to do maybe what's out of my comfort zone because it's asked of me to do. I need to be willing to take it upon myself to learn other things when others aren't challenging me. I need to find ways to challenge myself. Okay? It's not about just showing up to work so we can get a paycheck anymore. And I know sometimes that's just the mindset. You just want to get through the day. You want to get home. You want to do what you got to do. And you do a darn good job while you're there. And there's nothing wrong with that. But now we're at a point where we have to band together so that way we can make sure that we have a future. Okay. The last thing I would say is that as much as you can, for the next minute, just close your eyes with me. Just listen to what I got to say about visualizing what we want to see. Visualize and feel what it feels like at the end of the day to feel great, to feel like you did a job well done, to feel like you got along with all your teammates and all your coworkers. Imagine if you're higher up and you look at numbers at the end of the day and you want to see them look a certain way. Imagine what it looks like on your computer screen. Imagine feeling great. Imagine getting a phone call and be like, dang, you guys are rocking it. Man, imagine what it's like at the end of the quarter to be setting records. Imagine what it feels like to just feel successful and happy and excited. Imagine what it feels like to have your boss come up to you and take you in the office and tell you you're getting a raise. Imagine what it's like being at home and you just feel good and you feel secure and you feel just absolutely amazing. Okay? During the Great Depression, there was people that thrived. During any depression, there's people that thrive. We can thrive in the midst of all this going on, but it's going to take a personal, individual choice, collectively, to fit together and to work as a team if we're going to do it. Okay? I love you guys. I hope you have a great time. I will see you soon.